Hi there, my name is Neil Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. I do not know when this video is going to go out. We've had like this crazy storm here last night, and the power was out for a few hours. But then I heard my neighbours didn't get power back at all. Anyway, I heard the power's going out again, and it's going to be out for hours and hours, and it's going to be the Sabbath where I don't, use electricity anyway. So hopefully we maintain power long enough so I can get this video out, because, it is important. People know what I think about Star Trek Picard, Episode 8, Broken Pieces, I think. Anyway, before we get in there, if you like your independent voices here on YouTube, if you like your non-shill media, which is, well, I guess that's what we are here, then please hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. That's incredibly helpful. I want to show you my appreciation. I give stuff away here every week on the channel. The stuff I give away this week is Doctor Who, The Visitation from 1982 or 3, starring Peter Davison. Go look in the video notes. It'll give you all the instructions you need to know how to win it. Basically, you subscribe to the channel, subscribing being the important part. And then you leave a hashtag, comment, leave a hashtag, fire. Like I said, look in the video notes, and you have all the information you need. Fine, so let's start dissecting this final episode. I'm not final episode. If only it was the final episode. This latest episode of Star Trek Picard. And yeah, my first impression is really this, that when your title character is not on screen and it makes your show get a lot better, maybe you got a problem. Which is, I think, the overriding, my overriding takeaway from this episode. Oh, I've got quite a few overriding takeaways, but that's really, I think, my main one. And we're near the end of the season now. And yet they told us that this is going to be like one story. They're going to unfold slowly over 10 parts, going to be more contemplative, and it's so now we've got a better idea of what that story is. That story that they've taken the time to unfold gently and to tell us, and it's still shit. It's a shit story, which I think you could only like if you have Trump derangement syndrome. Now, I'm not just talking about you don't like Donald Trump or you wouldn't vote for him. That's fine. That's normal. That's what sane people are like. No, I'm talking about like if you're convinced there are like Russian interference that got him elected. Yeah, no, you're crazy. That's just crazy. Yeah, if you're convinced that the world's been taken over by fascists or Nazis, that's all crazy. If you look at the metrics, which are unbelievably good for his presidency, and say it's all because of Obama, or that they're not going to, that's being crazy. If you're one of those crazy, if you say that Trump locked people in cages and then shows a picture of an Obama era detainment center to prove your point, that's being crazy. If you say Donald Trump is clearly a racist and then point to a speech where he disavows the KKK and white supremacy, so specifically, then that's being crazy. So if you have Trump derangement syndrome, I think you will overlook the sheer lack of Star Trekness in this, which this is what we're seeing people doing, and you'll probably even enjoy it because Trump derangement syndrome is. I saw a quote from Daniel Craig about the new James Bond movie yesterday. I can't remember if I did a video about it. No, I didn't do a video about it. And he was saying, we tried to not have Donald Trump. And what can you do? He's everywhere all the time. No, he's not. The only time I really think about him is when crazy people with Trump derangement syndrome talk about Donald Trump all the time. Or when they make a Star Trek show, which I think they put, $100 million on this, to make a Trump derangement allegory. That's being crazy. So yeah, if you're crazy, and if you don't like Star Trek, this might be. If you like Star Trek and you're not crazy, this show may be a bit hard to go through. Fine. So we start this episode where 14. We do another flashback to 14 years ago. Oh God, it's so dumb. Yes, wow. They hit the dumb on this one, and they just keep hitting that dumb button over and over again. And we go to the grief world. Was it A1A? I think it's called. And we see the dumbass final part of the recruitment for the Jeanne d'Arc, the Jacques Farage, the super secret police. Not just the secret police, not the Tal Shah, we're talking about the super secret police. So what happens is they're in this glowy thing on this planet, which shows them memories of an ancient alien race, and how they invented AIs and the AIs went mad. And they killed. Basically, they showed them Battlestar Galactica. That's what happened. They said, check out this show. It's way better than Star Trek Picard. Check out Battlestar Galactica. They made them watch Battlestar Galactica, and they're like, well, that's pretty good. And then they made them watch Caprica, and they're like, well, I'm not really sure. And then they made them watch the Blood and Chrome, and then they're like, yeah, okay, fine, I'm good, I get it. So then they all went, everybody goes crazy. I mean, like, full-on crazy, shooting themselves, shooting each other, like incurably insane. Only 2 survive. There's 3 people survive. You have the person who's the head of security, who, Kel surprise, is not a Vulcan, but actually a Romulan. Actually, it turns out she's a half Romulan, as a plant in Starfleet security. And you have the Narek sister, whatever her name is, and the crazy red-headed ex-Borg woman from a few episodes ago that, was it Soji? Yeah, that Soji interviewed and she went, "Rah!" Crazy. So, yeah, so fine. So we actually kind of get a little bit more insight into them. We do a little bit more in the episode where, these people, the Jacques Dart, they hate, because they've seen this, like, so they've got this psychic bomb where they saw, what happened to this society. Because they watched Battlestar Galactica. They went, that's so much better than Picard. They lost their minds. That's really what happened. But because they lost their minds, they really hate synthetics. They've got to stop them in any way, shape, or form. So I do find that interesting that you had this, Jacques, whatever, was this redheaded woman was assimilated. So, so somebody who hates AI, she became part of one, which I thought that was an interesting. And then here's the thing, they do sprinkle good things in, but they sprinkle it on a pile of shit. So, it's like, you may like sprinkles. Who likes sprinkles? Who doesn't like sprinkles? But nobody likes sprinkles on a pile of shit, which is what this is. But in general, I quite like the Borg Cube. So then we have, it's really weird, again, stupid plan to capture Elnor. So I don't know why they want to capture him and not kill him, but okay, they want to capture him. And their stupid plan of catching a ninja assassin, a Romulan ninja assassin, is to throw a flashbang grenade at him, so he goes, I can't see, and then attack him, 4 or 5 people attack him in hand-to-hand combat. Now, I would say, hand-to-hand combat would probably be, he's got a sword, he's got a ninja sword, he's probably pretty good at hand-to-hand combat. You know what would have been a great idea? That from 50 yards away, you stun him with a phaser. Like they have those things in Star Trek. They have phasers. They could just stun him from 50 yards away and everything. Or they could just beam him up and put him into stasis. There's so many ways they could do this, but no, because this is by Star Trek by people who don't like Star Trek and haven't really seen it much before. So then, a redeeming moment. 7 and 9 shows up and saves him at the end. Oh my God, Jerry Wine is so good. And my guessing is that this was shoehorned in after that. She clearly did well in the other episode, and you can see how good she is, and we can see. There's last week you saw Riker could have totally carried the series far more cheaply than Patrick Stewart. 7 and 9 clearly could have carried the series. Actually, I think could have carried the series into a much more interesting way. Because, honestly, the Borg stuff, the Romulan and the Borg stuff, I find the most interesting. I think 7 and 9 would have been a great conduit into that story. Get rid of the whole Mars attacks, Trump derangement syndrome, Picard, apologize. Get rid of all the crap, and you would have actually had a decent series. But no, they really wanted the Trump derangement syndrome. That's the most important thing. So she saves it. 7-9 saves him. Elnor is so happy because he's like the rest of us. He just wants to give her, just wants to hug her. So then we have the titles again, the Trump derangement syndrome titles, which is really the core of the problem of the show. 9 times out of 10, it is the arbiter of whether you'll like it or not, regardless of how not Star Trek or Picard it is. If you don't like Trump, you will like this show. Actually, this is an interesting litmus test to see what does somebody do. You have two forces playing somebody: their love of Star Trek and their hatred of Trump. So it's interesting to see those two things work together and see how it comes out. Apparently, hating Trump wins out most times. Okay, so then we have the crap titles, and Rios is totally freaked out. You meet Soji, totally freaked out, can't cope with this, and don't you think this would have been But I think that we could have set up, many in earlier, maybe in the second episode. There have been many, many, many dull hours in this in the 8 hours we've had so far of Picard. Oh, 7.5 hours we've had of Picard. There have been many, many dull minutes. We really could have set up his backstory then, and rather than just shoehorn it into episode 8, really. Oh God, it's the quality of the writing is really shockingly bad. It really is. But again, all they really care about is getting their the Trump derangement stuff in. I think that's all the thing they care about. So now the La Serena is running all the way to Deep Space 12, and Rios can't cope, so he turns the ship over to the holograms, and he crawls into his cabin. Dealing with things in the way that somebody deals with them in like the 20th century, not the 23rd century. This is much more the Raffi Girardi way of dealing with stress than the Riker or Geordie way of dealing with it. And so, so this week we get it in early. I was quite impressed that we get the dressing down of Picard, this time by Raffi, who tells her that Girardi was a double agent who was they were tracking them, and she basically says you screwed up, and goes, oh, the drill. It has to happen every bloody week. So then Picard has another one of his stupid meetings in his stupid hollow chateau, because God forbid they should show the inside of a starship, right? And he has it with Admiral Bitchface from the first episode. Was the first or second episode? Sheer effing hubris, that woman. And she's Admiral Bitchface. She's not even resting Bitchface. She is active Bitchface, and she retains her active Bitchface all the way through. She looks like she swallowed a wasp. And then she says, I'm going to send you a squadron. A squadron? What the hell is a squadron? We never had squadrons in Star Trek before, have we? I mean, we have Red Squadron, but isn't squadrons like little ships? No, send them some starships. He send them a fleet. I think that's what he wanted. But okay, fine, because nothing matters. Okay, and it's all kicking off on the Borg Cube with the Borg and the Romans saying, yes, this is good. This is a good Star Trek-y idea. Jettison everything else. The Borg Cube is a good Star Trek-y idea. The Romulans, good Star Trek-y idea. Everything else is stupid. But also the whole Jacques Vache hatred of synthetic. Stupid idea. Get rid of all that again. Anything to do with Trump derangement syndrome? God, the reason the synth thing is Trump derangement syndrome because it's saying the 9/11 attacks were orchestrated to make you to make us hate Muslims, which we're now going to say that's an allegory for hating synthetics. Okay, no, honestly, nobody had to make Bin Laden and crew to the 9/11 attack. They were really on board for it all themselves. Nobody pushed them into that position. Nobody bamboozled anyone. No, that's what they wanted because they're from a markedly different culture that hates the Western culture. That is the reality that you don't want to deal with. Fine. So then we wait for a bunch of boring scenes on La Serena with the Rios holograms and Picard talking to Soji. And it's also dull. It just is dull. But yeah, I do like the holograms. But again, it's not really that Star Trek-y of an idea, is it? They're back on the Borg Cube for 10 seconds. We have Jerry Ryan again. Sparkle. And yeah, it's amazing to me. How is Jerry Ryan not like Tom Cruise? I mean, like, she's... Okay, firstly, she's stunningly beautiful. I mean, she's, 52? And she's still like... she just captures the screen. Your eye goes to it. Yeah, she looks stunning. And she's a great actress. I mean, I saw her all through, not all through, but her time on Voyager, and she had a real emotional range. And she, why hasn't she picked up to like headliner Mission Impossible style type spy series? She could have totally done that, and she's charming. And I just don't understand how that never happened. And she's on this crappy show. But really, Seven Ryan, fantastic. If they were smart, they would build a show around her. Rather than pick up, I mean, the CBS stock is tanking so hard. I can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine this going. I just think they're going to destroy that. They're not just going to destroy the streaming service. They're going to destroy their company because they will not back down from this course because they really are into Trump derangement center. Really, really into it. So then we got this weird intervention with Raffi talking to all the Rios holograms, trying to work out what's wrong with him. And yeah, Raffi is indicative of the problems we have in Hollywood right now, in that they are terrified, literally terrified of people with dark skin, and they're really scared to write them. You can see this like real yeah, I think the Watchmen series was a great example of that. You know, they can't write people with dark skin as human beings. It's crazy. They always need to be like either objects of abuse or soulful saints. He can be, which Raffi switches between the two, you know. So so then she switches on the soulful saint part of her described personality. And then here's the trouble: you can't have an instant soulful saint. You need to, like, for that to have credibility, that's like you need to take time and build up as a character. You know, like the Orville did. The Orville takes time to develop its characters before they then establish their characters, before they do something with the character. You know, that's something that I find that this crop of this generation of screenwriters really lack: the ability to put the time in to do anything. That's really the bottom line problem with it. Then we learn the Rios' backstory, and again, we should have seen this. We should have seen this, and we should have seen it in episode 2. It should have really been set up, and that way we would have seen, like, we would have understood how freaked out he would have been when he meets Soji. So what happened was, the reason we didn't see it is God forbid that we should see a starship in a Star Trek show. You know, who would want that? That would just be crazy. So the backstory's so stupid. That he meets his captain that he loved when he was in Starfleet, meets these two people in a small ship, and then one of them is a replica of Soji, and then there's another one. Clearly, they're synths from the synth planet. And then the captain gets an order to shoot them both in the face, or he's going to get his ship blown up. So he does it. And then Rios is so upset with him, he makes him feel bad, and the captain shoots himself. Yeah. I just said all that. That happened. That's what happens in Star Trek now. You know, we have the captains forced into moral degradation, not being able to cope with it, and committing suicide. But again, if we had just seen that, you know, if we saw like somebody in Starfleet uniform, you know, on a starship, they might have even sold it, but I don't think so. It's just all so stupid. It's so stupid. Then we go back to 7 and 9, which I actually, when I what I do, I watch the episode initially, then I go through it and write notes on it. And when I was watching it initially, I thought 7 and 9 was in most of it. She's not. She's in about 20% of it, but she just owns the episode. So 7 and 9 then becomes like a mini Borg queen to fight off the Narek sister. And at the same time, Raffi becomes Basil Exposition from Austin Powers, and she does a major info dump to explain. Yeah, this is their dumbass story. They dragged their feet to tell, and it's really not good. This story could have been told in a 2-hour movie. There was no reason for it to be in a 10-hour show, and it really doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So the dumbass story is this: that the head of security is half Romulan, half Vulcan, and she was a plant designed to become the head of Starfleet security with the express mission to make Starfleet abandon synth research because she saw the mental bomb explosion of Battlestar Galactica from the planet, and she saw how much better a show that was, and so they wanted to enter. So she engineered the Mars attack. So Starfleet would destroy all synth and move away from it completely. That was the story. There's so much to unpack from it. Firstly, can Romulans mind meld? Okay, I know they say she's half Romulan, half Vulcan, but I don't think Romulans can mind meld. Yeah, I actually did a little bit of research this morning. And it seems to be no, not so much. But she's half Vulcan, half. If she's half Romulan, half Vulcan, then her parents must be pretty darn progressive, aren't they? The whole like reunification thing that Spock was big behind that. That's a reasonably progressive movement. So how did she become this super racist nationalist zealot? Okay, that's the first problem. Second problem is the flashback at the beginning was 14 years ago. So was that the year that she became a member of the Jacques Vache? And then, so she infiltrated Starfleet security somehow, without them being able to work out she's a Romulan. Somehow, I don't know. And then, and then became the head of Starfleet security somehow. But she's okay. So I can see that happening over like 10, 15 years. She did it all in that year, or was she already in place? But who cares? Nothing matters. Nothing matters. All the only thing that matters is saying how bad we were because the Western world voted for Trump and voted for Brexit. And now so Picard goes, oh, it's so sad. We made a mistake, but we can make it better. We can all make it better. Please don't vote the ways that we don't want you to vote because we don't want to get up at award ceremonies and say, you've been naughty people, now can we have your money anymore? He was trying to be understanding, but screw you. Screw you, Patrick Stewart. Screw you and your bullshit politics. And I think your bullshit politics doesn't ring so true without making $100 million of freaking, how much you make it? $10 million an episode? They drove a truck full of uncut diamonds into your living room. Now, if you're on that sort of income, your politics probably make a hell of a lot of sense. If you're not, if you're on anything between, I don't know, 50,000 to 200,000 a year, they really, really don't. So shut your damn stupid mouth. So I know you can't really accept any admonition. What's the word now? Admonition from me because I'm not a woman. I'm not a strong woman. But shut up, idiot! Just shut up! Oh! Okay, so then apparently there's a secret planet of synth somewhere that Maddox fled to. Who knows where it is, where it came from, what's going on, what's the story with that? Maybe they'll explain it, maybe they won't, I don't know. So Soji then realizes she's shown them the way to the secret planet of the synths, which we understood, 2 weeks ago, I think? But no rush, let's spend a day or so with the Rikers, because no rush at all! And she tries to steal the ship to go save them. Then we have a marginally Star Trek-y moment when when Rios and Raffi say we're going to band together to get you to your planet, and they're going to use these transport conduits. Well, they Borg transport conduits to get there. And of course, we have this little Picard boomer moment where he tries to fly the ship and doesn't know how to, using the idiotic hologrammatic controls. Fine. So back on the Borg Cube, all the Borg have been invented in space, which again I thought was kind of cool. I like the Borg section. And the last remaining vestiges of them, I guess, attack the Romulan commander, and it looks like they're going to kill her. And I thought they did at first, but then I went back and you just hear a transporter sound as they're pummeling her. I don't know why they're not killing her. They hear a transporter sound, so she escapes. But it's really horribly directed. You have no idea that's what's going on at all. So after all the Borg are dead and the Romulans have gone, they've gone to attack the Borg, the synth planet. 709 then deborgs. The other thing saying, maybe I won't stop becoming a Borg queen. Maybe I'll enjoy it too much, but apparently not. And so she deborgs, and that's a very common social justice warrior trope. To do. You have to make a whoever is in command female. Females have to be in command, but then they have to suck at command and get all their people killed. So that's exactly what 709 did. So okay, fine. Will they? By the way, we saw that in Star Wars. Was it Admiral Gender Studies? Yeah, was it Admiral Hoda? We said Doctor Who. That is essentially Doctor Who. In the last episode of Doctor Who, she got 70% of the human race murdered because she's stupid. But that's what they always do. Okay, fine. So then, fine. So they go, and the Borg Cube's left alone. Will it turn up again at the end of the day to provide firepower? Well, that maybe, but who cares? Who cares is the bottom line. Really, who cares? So we end up with La Serena entering the transport conduit to go to the synth world, followed by Narek, assumably. You don't see who it is. But wouldn't he know where they are anyway from the from his sister knows where the Borg world or the synth world is. But what were they doing hanging around the Borg Cube? I really don't know. But who cares? The bottom line, who freaking cares? Is the bottom line. When is the Orville coming back? That's what I care about. I really want the Orville to come back because I wouldn't mind watching a bit of Star Trek now, which damn, I certainly haven't seen on CBS All Access. My name is Sheila Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos.